everybody. Pat here from West Corners Custom Cycles. Welcome back. Usually I say to the underground garage, but today we are not at the underground garage. We are actually at my wife's family's farm. Going to be doing a new introduction to a new build, and I wanted to do it out here because this is going to be actually an off-road bike. I picked it up off of Marketplace. You really got to see this. It's actually pretty cool. I've been wanting to get something because out here we have an absolute mess of land to have fun on with four-wheelers and dirt bikes, and so I wanted to find something out here for me to play with, and I want to show you something. All this land out here belongs to my father-in-law, and probably halfway up that hill out back. Now we just had this center field right here brush hogged, and that's going to make a nice berm back there going up on the pond. But we're going to brush hog this field over here, and we're going to brush hog this one over here. Now the kids have already been coming up and ripping around all the outbuildings out here in the house and everything else on their mini bikes. But like I said, I wanted something to play with out here. So without further ado, check this out. This I picked up off of Marketplace, and yes, some of you were saying, oh, he got himself an old Japanese dirt bike. Being that it's yellow, it's probably a Yamaha. You would be partially right. It is an old Japanese dirt bike. It is Yamaha, but you are only partially right. I'm going to get it out here. We're going to do a walk around it, and I'm going to show you why you're only partially right. Okay, here it is outside in the sunshine. Front to back. Gonna walk you around it, get my shadow off it. Now, maybe some of you out there that are dirt bike people might notice this is an early Yamaha, 1980 to be exact. It is a YZ250, but the coolest part about this whole thing is this is a Harley Davidson 250 cc two-stroke motor stuck in this YZ250 frame. Now, I have always wanted a Harley Davidson dirt bike, but anybody that knows about the Harley Davidson dirt bikes knows that they were made for 2 years, I believe, 76 to 78. And if you can find one, they are going to cost you $1 million, even in this kind of shape. If you can even find one in this nice of shape. Most of them are complete restos if you can find them, and people are just asking a fortune for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I am going to make this into one of the baddest Harley motocross bikes ever to be seen. This is really kind of a one-off thing. It's a one-off project. I have never seen another Japanese dirt bike with a Harley motor stuffed in it, but I saw it on Marketplace and I absolutely had to own it. Now I plan on doing a lot with this. I've already been shopping parts all over. Let me get you in here, show you some stuff that I noticed with it. One of the things is the carburetor that's on this was the original one that was on the YZ, I believe. Maybe not. It's a can. That is not what was on the original Harley 250 here. That had a Del Orto PHBE 32, I believe. I do have a video on restoring that carburetor here on my channel on the carburetor rebuild list. So I actually located one of these. I'm going to try and put the original carburetor back on it. And I just happened to have this air cleaner. That was in the garage. That wasn't on there when I got it. I just stuck it on there. And that'll be going on there. I've already seen that online I can get this whole set of plastics in white, which I thought would be cool, and then put on the number plates, the Harley Davidson #1. So we're gonna make this thing cool. Front tire here is shot. It's got huge cracks on the side of it, but I literally had this exact tire in my garage, so we'll be putting that on. I see the seal down here on the axles is popping out on one side. I've already got the bearing and seal kit coming from All Balls Racing. I also have I'm gonna get a seat cover for it. What else we gonna do? I noticed that the front brake lever and perch is missing. That's on the way. So we're gonna start putting this thing back together. And first order of business is getting that carburetor off of there so I can get that soaking and going. And what else do I got to do on this? The other thing I was looking at that I'm not really crazy about, I mean, they've got it on here, is this exhaust. On neither bike of the original bikes did it come up this side of the bike. The plastics for the YZ are not accommodating for the muffler here to be on this side of the bike. It's on the other side of the bike. So I may see if I can't find either an original YZ exhaust or even the Harley MX exhaust comes up and back here and then crosses over and down the other side of the bike. But I have a feeling that's going to be a way more pricey exhaust than the YZ replacement one. So all right, people, that's it. That's the new project. I just wanted to let you see it, introduce you to it. I'm going to take you in the garage, get this thing up on a stand, and or a 5-gallon bucket, one or the other, something. And I'm going to get that front tire off so I can get the bearing and seal done on that. I'm going to get that carburetor off, and I'm going to get that soaking and re-cleaned, or, you know, cleaned out and all ready to go. And I'm going to get the gas tank all cleaned out and ready to go. So hopefully if I do that and I drop the oil and change it, then I can get this thing at least fired up and see how she's running, and we can go from there. If I don't like this carburetor, I'll put the original one on it. But I just wanted to back up, give you another look at this thing. Absolutely ridiculous. This is going to be one absolutely ridiculous Harley Davidson motocross bike. The Yama Davidson. Going to be one off, people. There's not going to be another one like it on the planet. All right. Stay tuned. Check out the build and see where we take this thing. All right. I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, everybody, I got this inside, got it on a crate, got it tied down. Now I'm going to pull a few things off it because I think first thing I want to do is see if this thing runs and how it runs. So I'm going to clean this gas tank out. I'm going to go through the carburetor, get those two things done. I already checked. I couldn't tell if I was getting spark, so I grabbed a hold of it and kicked it. We got spark. So I know we got spark. If I get fuel down into it, we should be able to get it to start. I've already done a little research on how to adjust up and tune this key and carburetor that's on here. And like I said, I put this aftermarket air cleaner on here. It's just a little cone air filter that I had laying around. I'm going to have to choke this out some. Way you do that, usually if you're going to run one of these, it's going to let way too much air into your carburetor. So what they do, a little trick, take a piece of plastic, cut it, have it go about 3/4 of the way around on this air cleaner. That way it'll only leave you 1/4 of it that's sucking in air. It'll cut down on the amount of air that's coming in there, and you should be able to dial it in without having to rejet and all that other stuff. So we're going to see how that goes. Put this aside. Another thing I'm going to do is get this front wheel off of here. It's got bad dry rot crack all the way around it. I actually got the same exact front wheel at my house. So I'm going to get that on there. While it's off, I'm going through the front brake. And also while it's off, these fork seals are leaking profusely. So we're going to get the fork seals done. I have those coming right now in the mail. I also have the front brake lever and perch coming. Cable is actually still here, so that should hopefully work once I go through it all. I got a new throttle coming for this bike. Where it comes up out of the carburetor, I'll get you in here and show you. It comes straight up and it kind of hits the frame. The one that's for this bike comes up and has a little 45-degree angle coming off of it. So it misses the frame, and it's all for this bike. But it has new grips, throttle, cable, everything that goes with it. So, okay, let me get you in here. I'll show you this carburetor. This is actually the carburetor from the Yamaha 250. I found the Del Orto carburetor that goes with this motor. It's not far from me. It is here in New York. I think I might take the drive and go get it. And I'm going to clean this one, see how it works. If it works okay, great. If not, you know, maybe we'll use the Del Orto one. Another thing I also did. This is not the right exhaust for this bike. The original exhaust come out the front. It actually came up this side of the bike, came down like this, underneath the side plate panel, and then the silencer came out the back on the left side here. This one goes all down the right side. Someone custom did it. We'll see which one we're going to use and how we're going to roll with it, but I'd like to get the one back on it that originally went on here and see if I can't just rework the end to come up and fit this Harley Davidson 250 motor. So, got a lot of big plans for this bike. Already ordered a bunch of parts. I think I'm changing all the plastics over to white. And then I'm going to give it a Harley Davidson theme with the number ones and all that. So, we'll see how it goes. Right now, first order of business, get it to start and run and stop. I also see there's no kill switch up here anywhere. So I'm going to have to look into that and see what I got to do about getting a kill switch hooked up to it. Then I think we'll be all set to start. I got to have a way to stop it besides pulling that spark plug off. I mean, I could choke it out on the carburetor and probably kill it. But so, all right, let me get you in here and we'll pull this carb off. Okay. As you can see, well, maybe hard to see in there with everything in the way, but that's the clutch cable. You can see this throttle cable when it comes up and hits the frame. And the one for the Yamaha YZ 1980 comes up and it literally has a 45 in this boot, I think, just to specifically miss that frame. So I've got that coming. We're going to pull these clamps off of here. We're going to pull this off of here. I'm going to take the cap off and we're going to slide it out. Shouldn't be a big deal at all. Get a screwdriver here. Now, I don't know who originally did all this. I'd really like to find out. I'm thinking about calling the guy that I got it from and seeing what kind of information he can give me on it. Kick it a little sideways here. He said he took it in on a trade. So I don't know if he really even knows a whole lot about it, where it came from, how it got this way, and okay, there we go. There's the slide out of it. That doesn't look too awful horrible. Needle looks pretty good. I'm just going to lay that off to the side and let it hang. Now this fuel line was already undone. I see where you're looking at right here. Yeah, right here. They had this nipple coming off of here. They have no petcock hooked up to it, so I don't know if they had an inline shut off, but I've got a petcock coming too. We're going to replace that. It's going to have a regular petcock. So this is what it is. So I don't see there's some numbers on it here, but all right, well, I'm going to take this, we'll take it back down to West Corners, to the underground garage, and we'll get this thing all cleaned out, gone through, make sure everything in there inside the float bowl and everything's going all right. No gas coming out of it, so I don't think there's been gas in it in a long time. There's no gas in the tank. So, all right, well, now I'm going to work on getting this front tire off of here. Be back in a second. Now, as you can see, right there is the bearing dust seal. That's shot. Piece of metal running around there, which means all kinds of dirt's been getting in there. So I got the bearing kit coming. These are two 12mm bolts right here. Got to loosen those. Now this is a drum brake on here. So when we get to the other side, there is a brake stabilizing rod that I have to disconnect that keeps that brake hub from spinning. Okay, let me get around the other side here. Like I said, brake stabilizer rod. Got to disconnect it from here. Probably just from here to get it off. Probably loosen it up here. And then I can go through on the back up to the other side, unscrew that axle out. Let's see what size this is. Like a 15 maybe. Get a wrench, I'll be right back. Okay, it's a 17. And a 10 up top. Okay, back around the other side. Unscrew that axle that goes into here. That tire should come right out. Now there is a spacer on this side. And actually it looks like one on both sides. So just be conscious of those and careful you don't lose them. There it goes. Just like that. 2 spacers on this side. 1 on the other side. So on the right side, there's 2 spacers. And then the grease seal for the bearing. And then on the left side, there was this spacer. Just a little thin one. All right. There you go. That's what come out of it. As you can see, tire lifts right out. I'll unhook this cable. Or will it come out the top? There. That was easier and quicker. Okay, people, there you go. Front tire is off, carburetor is off. Okay, as you can see, that was pretty quick and painless. Takes 5 minutes to take the front tire off. Took a minute or 2 to take that carburetor off. I'm going to take these now. I'm going to get all the bearings and everything changed out on that front tire, go through the front brake. It is flat right now, so I'm going to put a new tube in it. And get the new tire on it, which is the same one. I mean, I've had it for a long time in my garage, but it's not all dry rotted and cracked. So, and I will get this carb gone through. I'm going to make a video going through the carburetor. Actually, no, I won't. Oh, yes, I will. I'm going to make a video going through the carburetor. This is the carburetor for the Yamaha YZ 1980 250. I was thinking I wasn't going to do it because the original carburetor for this is a Del Ordo PH32 carburetor, and I've already got a video for one of them up on the carburetor cleaning, repair, rebuild list. If you haven't checked it out, you're looking for a carburetor you need rebuilt, you're wondering how, I've got tons of carburetors on there, all different sizes, from mini bikes to, Sportsters and everything in between. So if you're looking to clean, these Del Ordo carburetors or anything like that, go on there. I might have it on there, and there's videos for all of them. Okay, well, that's enough for me jabbering for now. Let's get this carburetor clean. Next time I see you, I'll be back in the underground garage. We'll be on the workbench, and we'll be at the ultrasonic cleaner. We'll get this carb done. I already checked out this tank, pretty clean inside. I may rinse it out with a little bit of gas, just dump it out. But I'll get some gas mixed up for that when I get the carburetor back on here. And we'll see if this thing fires and how it runs. So. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I'm down here on the workbench. I got the ultrasonic cleaner right here. Getting ready to go through this key and carburetor off the Harley Davidson. And I found out that I got something broken on this. I'm going to get you in here so I can show you what's going on with it. Give me a second here. I'll move the camera in. Okay. This is what the problem is. Got the choke right here. Now, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. When I pull this up, as you can see right here in this there's some threads there. You can see the octagon part of the carburetor right here. This choke unscrews out of the body right here, and the threads are broke off of this, and they're down inside the body right here. So, until I can find another choke here for this carburetor, and I'm not even sure what model this carburetor is. I'd probably have to call Key, and it's got a number down here. Don't know how well you can, yeah. Anyway, PJ1, looks like 15CWEI. So I'm gonna see if I can't locate a choke for this carburetor, because without it, it's kind of not going to work very well. And what I did do in the meantime, is I ordered up the original Del Orto carburetor that went with the original Harley Davidson motor that's in this. So it's an Italian carburetor. I actually found it in Italy, so it's coming from Italy. It's probably going to be a week or so before it gets here. But I'm going to go through that. I'm not going to film me going through that carburetor. I already have a video of me doing that exact carburetor on my carburetor playlist. There's like 12 different carburetor rebuilds on there. If you're looking to know how to rebuild a carburetor, check on there. I might have the one you're looking for on there. If I do, there's a complete video. So, when you come back, I'm going to have the Del Orto carburetor. I will have it gone through and ready to go and go back on the bike. I am also, in the meantime, going to get the front wheel. We're going to do the wheel bearings on that. We're going to do the fork seals. We're going to clean everything up on the front end, get that all ready to go, clean up the rim, put everything back together. That'll probably be our next video. So, until then, all of you, be safe, be kind to each other, live life behind bars, and until I see you next, peace.